Alright y'all, back with another video. We have since completed the transmission cooler, mounting, plumbing for it. We have 100% completed the starter wiring, which includes the main battery cable and the starter solenoid wire. I also made these little mounts for the radiator and got the electric fans fitted and mounted to the radiator. I've got to wire the electric fans up still. Our main project for today is going to be the fuel system. What I normally do when I swap TBI stuff to carburetor is this line here comes directly out of the fuel filter. I basically cut it like right back here where it gets straight and put a flare on it and just put the hose right on that. And this line right here, it's a little bit smaller. It's a 5/16 line, but it is the factory return line. The return style regulator will basically just hook right back up to this. I've got to cut and flare both of these lines here and then basically build the fuel system lines from there. Other than that, I have a few odds and ends on the wiring side of things. And besides that, I've got gauges to hook up and a shifter to install. So that will probably all be in this video. They're pretty good and they're definitely going to work. And I threw a new O-ring on this one too. I'm going to slap these on and go ahead and start running some fuel line. Alright, we've been working on the truck. Got a bunch of stuff done. The fuel system's done. Besides a few hose clamps down low. We've got the catch can installed. We've wired the alternator. We've got a bunch of vacuum hoses hooked up. Throttle cable on and done. Got the fans wired up. Just cut this block off plate for the shifter hole. We just got the shifter hole cut. Drilling some holes, gonna nut and bolt that. Alright guys, I just wanted to go over the fuel system real quick. The fuel lines do actually run under the intake. This is the feed line from the pump, and this is the return line here. And obviously this runs straight into the carburetor. Very simple little bracket that I built to hold the fuel pressure regulator. All the fittings are all tight. Got high pressure hose clamps on everything. And I'll show you guys the underneath. Alright y'all, here it is. This is the one flare that I built. I cut this line off. It's out to about here. It gives you plenty of room to clamp the hose on. This one here is the return line. I had put a fitting and flared it and all this and that, and I decided to do away with it and just put it straight on the line. So that's the amount of hose that's going on. So it's about an inch. All the hose clamps are on installed. Kept it away from the exhaust pretty good. It runs up and just runs right up the firewall there. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to show you guys that. And I think that I've got this in the wrong hole for this style of shifter, so I've got to read the instructions and find out. It works in this position. It says failure to transmission if it's not hooked up right. Probably adjust it out a little better, but just wanted to show that. And there's the block off plate, old speed limit sign, and the shifter bolted through the floor. All that stuff's done too. Everything underneath the truck's done. About to set it back on the ground. Alright, well as you guys just saw, the fuel system's completed. All the hose clamps are installed and everything's nice and tight, so whenever it comes time to power this thing up, we'll do a leak check on it. That's it for the fuel system. This is the Evil Energy catch can we installed. It has 10AN to 6AN adapters with 90s and 3/8 push lock style hose. One runs over to the factory PCV valve. The other hose runs right around here and hooks into the valve cover up front. So here's our list of stuff that I pretty much came up with quickly the other night. And the fuel system hose clamps are now done, but the upper radiator hose, that's on the way. And when that comes in, we'll be able to finish the coolant steam port hose as well. I gotta put a fuel pressure regulator vacuum hose up to the carburetor. Gauges are almost done. The battery mount's a little rubber piece I'm gonna get from the junkyard. I'm gonna test the wipers, see if those work. I wanna rerun the MSD ground wires, and he's getting an air filter for it, which is on the way too. The MSD ground wires I'm talking about are these right here. This one here, where it's just bolted up to the head, and the other side's pretty close to the same. I just wanna make sure it's got a good connection on it and probably run it to the back of the head so it's a little cleaner. We are getting really close to being able to power this thing up. We'll be close to starting it real soon. Thanks for watching, guys.